Hello friends, welcome to IPCS Automation. Today we are going to see interfacing S7200 PLC with Intouch using KepServer as an OPC driver. So the things you will be needing are TAA portal for Siemens S7200, KepServer any version and Intouch any version. So initially we will open TAA. Okay, so now create a new project. So the name can be anything. So I am naming it as interface. So I am creating my project. So once my project is created, I will choose my specific device in which I am going to be programming. Okay, now my project has been created. Now I am going to configure a device. So in this, add new device. I have with me a 7200 CPU with 1212C DC-DC relay and the third one in the list, and I am just adding it to the software. It will take some time to get the hardware configuration ready. So once your device is configured, you will get this PLC configuration window. So in the configuration window, you will be doing two types of configuration, one for the IP of the PLC and the second one will be for the communication between the PLC and the SCADA driver. So initially we go to device configuration, select the PLC and open the properties tab that is shown below and go to Profinet interfaces. In the Profinet interfaces, select Ethernet addresses and set your PLC's IP. So there are two ways to do this. So one way is to directly give the IP and the other way is to go to the online devices section. So once you finish the Ethernet addresses, scroll down again, go to the end of the menu and go to protection. In protection, make sure that your access level is full access with no protection, and if you scroll down again, you will get another small window, another small option, that is permit access with put or get communication from remote partner, that is PLC, SCADA or any type of OPC servers. So make sure this checkbox is checked. Make sure this is very important. If you don't check this checkbox, your communication may not work. So once you finish it, open your main block. This is for your programming. So in the main block, you can do your basic PLC programming. The programming language I am going to use the ladder programming. So I am going to create a DOL starter, that is a direct online starter. So with interfaces for my SCADA also. So as you can see, I am adding two start switches and two stop switches with the feedback. So basically while interfacing with the SCADA, you need to create two memories, one for your start button and one for your stop button, because direct inputs cannot be controlled by the SCADA systems. So this is true for both the cases. So that is why I created a M0.0 parallel to the start button and M0.1 in series to the stop button. So the output can be read directly in the SCADA system. So now once I finish my program, I am just compiling it. So hardware and software, as I have done some hardware configuration. Once the compilation process is complete, I will just download the same to my PLC. So this will take some time. So in the download menu, select PNIE and select your current LAN driver and give start search. So once the window finishes searching, my PLC is visible. PLC 1 S7200, 192.168.1.20. Downloading. So I have to stop all the devices and I am loading the configuration. Finally finish it. That's it, and I'm just going to go online. So this is just the monitoring mode. Next I'm going to switch on my monitor mode. So now you can see I'm online with my hardware PLC. So as you can see in the little window there. So whenever I press the start button, so I get a loop, and when I press the stop button, so the loop is opened. So the same goes for my memory based system. So I'm just modifying it to 1. So I'm getting it as started, and I'm modifying it to 0 as it is a push button concept. So the same goes for my stop button also. It is also a push button. So I'm switching it on and switching it off. Okay, so this is what we have to do in the PLC part. So the next part we will be seeing about the configuration of the OPC server and the SCADA part. So the OPC server we are going to use will be KepServer version 5. So I have already installed KepServer 5 and I am just opening the configuration window. So there, go to File, select New and give S update and click to add a channel. So I am just setting my channel name as Siemens and the device driver as Siemens S7 TCP IP. Sorry, Siemens TCP IP Ethernet. Just give next. So the network adapter will be my default adapter. Next, and just give finish. So once this process is done, add a device. So I'm just naming my device as S7200. The device model will be S7200. So now we are using the S7 protocol suite. So the device ID is 192.168.1.20. So that's the IP of my PLC. Giving next. So next till it reaches the end and give finish. Okay, now my configuration is done. Now I'm adding a new tag. So double click on the add to add a static tag. So there I am giving it a start and my address as M0.0. And once I click the apply button, so the data type becomes boolean and OK. So I will also create 2 more tags for stop. That the address will be M0.1. So these addresses are corresponding to the addresses inside the Siemens PLC. So finally the output, the address will be Q0.0. I'm just applying it and OK. Okay, so once I finish this, go to runtime and press reinitialize. So as you can see below, you should see this thing happen, that is the runtime reinitialization completed. So after that, go to tools, launch OPC client. So there go to S7200 and you can see all the 3 new tags we have created listed there with the status of good. If this is not showing good or something else, if it is not showing good, there will be a problem with your connection. So make sure that you follow the steps correctly. So close it and go to project properties and go to this section fast DDR suite link and make sure this checkbox is ticked, that is enable fast DDE suite link connection to the server, and the application name as server_runtime. So make sure you remember this, and this will be useful for interfacing. Then you go to edit alias map. So you have to create a new alias. So create a new alias, name I will be naming it as interface. So I will map it to my PLC S7200 and I will scan the scan rate as, set the scan rate as 10 milliseconds and give OK. So this should be seen. So also remember the name interface, useful for the interfacing. So close KepServer and now open Intouch. So the Intouch version I am using is Invensys Intouch 2014. Some of you may have other versions, that's not a problem. So create a new project I'm naming it as interface. So I got my project here and I'm opening my project from here. So here I'm creating a new window and naming it as any name you want. Make the window full screen. Then go to special access names and delete any other access names that is already there. I'm just deleting it and I'm adding a new access name. So the access name I will be giving is OPC. So the application name will be server underscore runtime. So that is from the KepServer. So file project properties, you will get the application name server underscore runtime. Enter the same on the application name in the access configuration, server underscore runtime. Then go to topic name. So the topic name will be mapped to the alias. So edit alias map. I have created the topic name as interface. So enter the name interface in the topic name and make sure that suit link is selected and advise only active items are selected and click OK. So now I'm just going to put two switches and a light, so such to simulate the DOL starter. So I'm going to the Symbol Factory wizard selection and I'm just placing a start button and I'm just duplicating it for the stop button. So I'll just go and rename it. So in the tag name section, I will give any tag name you want. I'm giving it as start. So while defining it, set the tag type as IO discrete and give OK. So in the access name section, go to and select OPC and close it. So in the item name, you have to give it as M0.0, that is our start button's address, and save it and close it. The same goes for the stop button. So I'm creating a tag name. IO discrete and my memory as 0.1. So now I'm placing a light. I'm going to take light panel. Let's just place it on the end. So I'm giving the address as Q0.0 and save it and close it. So now I'm just moving it. So I'm just making the switch to direct. Now go to runtime. So when in runtime, so when I press the start button, so I am getting the start command both from the PLC and the status from the SCADA. And if I press the stop, it is getting switched off. So that's all guys, we got a communication between our S7200 PLC and Intouch SCADA via KepServer as my communication driver. So this works both ways. So even if I change it on my PLC, it will work, and if I even change it in my SCADA, it will also work. So that's it guys. Please subscribe and like our channel for more videos like this. Thank you.